Wilhelm Bodewin Johann Gustav Keitel, September 22, 1882, October 16, 1946, was a German field marshal and war criminal who held office as chief of the Oberkommando der Wehrmacht, OKW, the high command of Nazi Germany's armed forces, during the Second World War. In that capacity, Keitel signed a number of criminal orders and directives that led to numerous war crimes. Keitel's rise to the Wehrmacht high command began with his appointment as the head of the Armed Forces Office at the Reich Ministry of War in 1935. Having taken command of the Wehrmacht in 1938, Hitler replaced the ministry with the OKW and Keitel became its chief. He was reviled among his military colleagues as Hitler's habitual yes-man. In April and May 1945, during the Battle of Berlin, Keitel called for counterattacks to drive back the Soviet forces and relieve Berlin. However, there were insufficient German forces to carry out such counterattacks. After Hitler's suicide on 30th of April, Keitel stayed on as a member of the short-lived Flensburg government under Grand Admiral Karl Dönitz. Upon arriving in Flensburg, Albert Speer, the Minister of Armaments and War Production, said that Keitel grovelled to Dönitz in the same way as he had done to Hitler. On May 7, 1945, Alfred Jodl, on behalf of Dönitz, signed Germany's unconditional surrender on all fronts. Joseph Stalin considered this an affront, so a second signing was arranged at the Berlin suburb of Karlshorst on 8 May. There, Keitel signed the German instrument of surrender. 5 days later, on 13 May, he was arrested at the request of the U.S. and interned at Camp Ashcan in Mundorf-les-Bains. General Jodl succeeded him as chief of OKW until the final dissolution of the Flensburg government on 23 May. After the war, Keitel was indicted by the International Military Tribunal in Nuremberg as one of the major war criminals. He was found guilty on all counts of the indictment: crimes against humanity, crimes against peace, criminal conspiracy, and war crimes. He was sentenced to death and executed by hanging in 1946.